over the course of history, the world has seen rapid population growth. A vast diversity of culture, technology, and higher living standards have all been made possible by it. According to a recent United Nations research, the population of the globe, which is currently 7.6 billion people, is projected to increase to 8.6 billion in 2030, 9.8 billion in 2050, and 11.2 billion in 2100. However, population growth is increasingly coming at a cost, in particular to the environment. Some people also believe that population growth is currently wreaking havoc on both the globe and the existence of many natural areas. But the issue that I'm going to address today is what impact does the population have on the global economy? So, if I ask you, what comes to mind when you hear the words population growth and economic growth together? Do you believe the two have a positive relationship, or is it a negative one? Well, the truth is, it's complicated. It isn't merely a case of the more the merrier. The economic impact of population growth is multifaceted, with both positive and negative implications. Number 1, a larger workforce. On the brighter side, the easiest path to economic growth through the population is labor. A growing population means a larger workforce and an increase in consumer demand, leading to increased production and economic growth. For example, China's economic growth over the past few decades is often attributed to its large population, which provided a large workforce to support its manufacturing industry. However, it can also lead to increased competition for jobs, which can result in lower wages and job insecurity for workers. In India, for example, a huge and expanding population has resulted in high levels of unemployment, particularly among young people. Number 2, consumer demand. Population growth may have an impact on consumer demand. The demand for products and services rises in tandem with population growth. This can be advantageous to businesses because it can lead to higher sales and profits. And according to the United Nations, population growth is anticipated to triple the worldwide demand for goods and services by 2050. So as the global population continues to grow, so does the demand for goods and services. Yet, if demand exceeds supply, it can lead to inflation, which is harmful to the economy. This is because when demand is higher than supply, prices increase, leading to a decrease in purchasing power for individuals and businesses. And this can result in a decrease in investment and ultimately decreased economic growth. Also, a growing population may create new industries and goods, while existing sectors may become obsolete. Number 3, resource depletion. Furthermore, an increasing population can cause natural resource depletion, which can have a detrimental influence on the economy. Natural resources such as water, land, and forests may be depleted at an unsustainable rate as the population rises, which can have long-term economic effects such as increasing food prices and decreased tourism revenue. According to the World Wildlife Fund, more than 60% of the world's ecosystems have been damaged or are being exploited in an unsustainable manner, which can have long-term economic effects. Dhaka, the capital of Bangladesh, has grown so vast over the years that it now boasts a population density of more than 110,000 people per square mile. A third of that population lives in poverty, with many people lacking access to clean water and even shelter. There just is not enough land to house all of these people. Furthermore, population growth can result in higher carbon emissions and pollution, which can have a negative influence on the environment. Number 4, aging population. Now, another main thing in this regard is that in some countries, population growth is slowing down and population is aging. When there are fewer people in the workforce to support an aging population, this can have substantial economic consequences. This may result in increased healthcare expenditures and a smaller tax base. However, the aging population can also create opportunities for businesses. For example, as the population ages, so does the demand for healthcare, medications, and assisted living facilities. Many Western economies are now experiencing a falling population, with the result that the population demographic is being skewed to old, retired people. In fact, according to the World Population Aging Report 2019, the worldwide population of people aged 60 and more is predicted to reach 2.1 billion by 2050. And as more people reach retirement age and live longer, there will be a growing need for healthcare services and retirement benefits, which could strain government budgets and affect the labor market. Number 5, population health. Population health has a significant positive effect on the rate of economic growth. because poor population health can lead to increased healthcare spending, lost productivity due to illness or disability, and reduced economic growth. On the other hand, good population health can have positive economic impacts, as it can lead to a more productive workforce, lower healthcare costs, and increased innovation. And we recently have witnessed it during the COVID-19 pandemic. The COVID-19 pandemic has demonstrated how inextricably linked population health and the economy are. The virus had wreaked havoc on the economy, emphasizing the significance of maintaining a healthy population and investing in healthcare infrastructure. So, prioritizing population health is critical for guaranteeing long-term economic stability as we try to rebuild our economies following the pandemic. Now, let me explain all these points with the help of an example. Let's imagine a small town called Dreamville. At first, the growing population brought more job opportunities and increased demand for goods and services for the locals. But as the town's population aged, the pressure on the healthcare system grew, leading to increased healthcare costs. The environment also suffered as the demand for natural resources increased, leading to environmental degradation and pollution. Similarly, consumer demand outstripped supply and prices increased, leading to inflation, and the town struggled to keep up with the needs of its people. So, this story highlights the complexities of population growth's economic influence. While it can provide possibilities for businesses and greater demands for goods and services, it also brings issues like inflation, resource depletion, and an aging population. Now you can see how interconnected these notions are. The relationship between people and the economy is complex and fascinating, ranging from the impact of birth rates on workforce supply to the potential economic benefits of diversity to the unanticipated impact of a pandemic. Hence, it's critical for the government or policymakers to be aware of these issues and to take proactive efforts to limit potential negative repercussions and optimize favorable outcomes. This could include investing in education and training programs to prepare the workforce for technological change, encouraging public health initiatives to enhance population health outcomes, and enacting sustainable development regulations to control the environmental implications of population increase. So, as you go about your day, keep in mind the role that the population plays in shaping our economic future. And who knows, maybe you'll be the next entrepreneur or policymaker to use this knowledge to make a positive impact on the world. Thanks for tuning in, and until next time.